Alert Weather Extra, Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Not a lot of rain out there today. The big story's been this hot, humid weather coming off of the weekend. The wet weather's been rather limited, but we are seeing quite a bit of stormy weather in states north of here. A lot of severe weather impacting places like Detroit and tracking across the Midwest. Very active storm track north of us, and all that's going to send a front southward that's going to impact our region and bring a strong surge of less muggy, more continental air into the region around the middle of the week, and we're giving you that first alert for a drop in the muggy levels, one of the next big things that we are tracking. Let's take you over to First Alert AccuTrack radar, show you what's out there at the moment, and you can see this animation here as we just kind of take things over the past 6 hours. That's what this loop is showing you here, and you can see most of those organized storms staying well north of us, and just a couple of pop-up showers that are happening out there for areas to the west. Let's get in a little bit closer here. I want to zoom in as we bring in the controls here on the radar, and let's go to the there we go. A close up. There was one area in here, well, no showers. You can see the past a couple of frames. Saw this at 6 o'clock. We had a little bit of rain, and then all those showers dissipated. And also around the Hackleburg area, we were tracking a little bit of shower activity in those areas there off to the north. But again, just looking at the wide view, I want to back this out so you can see here where we're seeing some of those stronger storms and more organized active weather. Look at this in states north of us, and it looks like places. Let's see if I can bring in the watches and warnings here, and you can see parts of Illinois dealing with severe thunderstorm watches. The Cleveland area, nasty looking squall line there. You can see moving in to parts of Ohio. Looks like the Columbus area there, and places like around Dayton, those storms moving in. Some of those could be quite potent. That's where, again, more of the active weather's located, and things are kind of hit or miss further south you go. But you kind of get the picture in here. You can see how we have generally set up in this particular region. See if I can bring in some of the telestration tools here, just kind of show right in this zone. That's where we have a front that's located at the moment, and that front is going to be tracking off to the south here over the next couple days, and it looks like by Thursday morning especially, you're really going to start to notice that drop in the muggy levels that we're going to be feeling across the area. Let's go ahead and show you quickly the 7-day forecast, and we're going to revisit this. We're going to go beyond the 7-day here, as we always do on First Alert Weather Extra, but just talk about what's on the way this week. We've got college football kicking off, and we're going to show you those kickoff forecasts, the first of the season. We have, of course, a Labor Day weekend coming up here. There's been a lot of talk about the tropics. We're about to update you on that, but tomorrow, be ready. It looks like a better coverage. Notice right in here, tomorrow as we get into midday especially, there's 12 o'clock. Start checking the weather app before you head outdoors, because the showers and storms, that system to the north starts to impact us. We'll start to see an increase there in the coverage of storms. A couple of those could be strong with some gusty winds. That pushes on through, and then after that, as we get into the day on Wednesday, well, that's when you start to notice that drier air and that more crisp feel that's going to be in the air. Notice Wednesday in the morning, well, we're still going to heat up quickly, but it's going to be more of a dry heat. Notice we have winds out of the north. Afternoon high still close to 90. Stay well hydrated. Gadsden showing 93 for us. It's going to be a hot one out there. But then during the overnight hours, Wednesday into Thursday morning, check this out. We have kind of a refreshing feel there early in the day. Some 60s around. We drop below average. And places like Holly Pond, Coleman, Double Spring, some of these areas around Smith Lake, we could be as low as 63, 64 degrees there early Thursday morning. So it is going to feel very nice. And then this weekend, well, the scattered storms and scattered showers come back. And by the way, Thursday, September 1st, that's the start of meteorological fall. So some of that cooler weather is going to be arriving right on time. But as we go into the weekend, we've got the afternoon storms that will be popping up again. Mentioned Saturday, Labor Day weekend. Pretty good chance there for Saturday afternoon. And if you're traveling over to Tuscaloosa going into the evening for college football, it looks like those pop-up showers and storms should be settling down, but plan for that possibility for tailgating on Saturday. There could be some scattered storms out there as we go into the weekend, but also a lot of talk about what's happening in the tropics. Want to bring in meteorologist Lauren Linehan, also monitoring what's happening there. And Lauren, our Labor Day weekend, at least at this point, it looks like no direct tropical impacts.
That's right, Wes. The good news is that we look ahead to Labor Day weekend, at least here along the Gulf Coast, in the Alabama Gulf Coast, Florida Panhandle, Florida Big Bend. I don't think we're going to see major issues. I'll show you those weather headlines we're looking at for the Labor Day weekend. Now, I'm not telling you, oh, it's going to be sunny, it's going to be dry, great grilling weather. You probably can squeeze some grilling in there, but I will tell you the forecast has been leaning a little wetter. Some scattered storms in the forecast, and no surprise here. It's going to be hot and humid, exactly as we would expect on Labor Day. But the best news is that here at home, at least, down by the Alabama Gulf Coast, we are not expecting a tropical threat. So as we look at that beach forecast heading into the holiday weekend, yeah, there's not going to be a tropical threat, but we're not going to lie to you. There could be some rain around, not just here in central Alabama, but also along the Gulf Coast. Some unsettled weather. Now, the benefit of that is it won't be ridiculously hot. High temperatures in the 80s, but it being a little breezy with that unsettled weather may not be great to get in the water even when it's dry. So could have some rough surface times. But we have been tracking several areas out in the tropics. We have this one wave just off of the west coast of Africa that has a low 30% chance of development over the next 5 days. But this one, this disturbance right here in the central tropical Atlantic, is the one that has certainly been getting our attention here over the past few days. And this is the one that has that highest chance of development as we get later into the week. So right now it's got an 80% chance of development over the next 5 days and a 50-50 shot at becoming a tropical depression or a tropical storm over the next 48 hours alone. So right now it's well to the east of the Lesser Antilles, but you see this, you see that red, your alarm bells start to go off, right? It's like, oh no, what's going on? But we're not expecting this to even make it into the Gulf of Mexico. It looks like it's actually going to be continuing on a track to the north and west and could eventually recurve out to sea. That would be great. A fish storm. The only problem is if it gets a little closer to Bermuda, but it's still too far out. This hasn't even formed yet. If you don't have a system that has formed, then models don't do a great job of depicting not just the track, but the intensity. So this could be a slow developing storm as it gradually moves to the north and west. Base case scenario, it misses the Lesser Antilles, it misses Puerto Rico, and then recurves before even hitting Bermuda. But right now, this doesn't look like it's going to be a threat to the U.S. So those are our spaghetti models. Let's actually look at some of our model data here. What about the Gulf of Mexico? Because we did have that little area in the Caribbean, but now it just has a 10% chance of development. So here we are on Wednesday. You'll notice it's suggesting, okay, there could maybe be a weak area of low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico later this week. Would that necessarily organize into something tropical? Not really. It could just help to bring some moisture inland, and that could be bringing some wet weather into the weekend. So that's that one little area in the Gulf. Nothing looking too promising now. But as far as this system that is out in the central Atlantic, there is a possibility that as it strengthens, if it organizes and manages to strengthen, it could become a tropical depression or tropical storm as it moves to the northwest. But that latest model data is keeping it away from the U.S. coast. And of course, that's great news for us. But Wes is going to be breaking down that 7-day forecast for you coming up in a bit. And Wes, we certainly have a lot coming up tonight on Weather Extra.
Yes, we do. And you see those first alerts for some drier air. By the way, can you tell out there the days are getting shorter? We're losing about 2 minutes of daylight per day, and the sunset time now at 7:16. But you can really tell it out there, fall right around the corner. In fact, our last sunset time within the 7 o'clock hour tier here. That's going to be on September 10th for this season. But we are counting down to September 1st, the arrival of meteorological fall. We're going to have some college football going on this week. Lots to update you on in that First Alert weather as we continue right here coming up on First Alert Weather Extra. We go beyond the 7-day forecast. Artemis, we were waiting for the launch today, but there was an engine issue, so safety comes first. That is being rescheduled for a launch. We're going to talk more about when that could happen. Mississippi flooding, some of those rivers just now cresting from the flooding we told you about last week. It's incredible, some of the rain amounts that we've seen around the region. And Hurricane Katrina, how could we forget that system impacted Louisiana on this date. We're going to show you more on that hurricane as we continue right here on First Alert Weather Extra.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
And being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
Getting to the bottom of health and billing issues that may be hidden in the fine print.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. In your community, giving you a deeper perspective with the largest team dedicated to you. Showing new stories from overnight, helping you get through your day. With first alert weather and traffic, getting to the point, not wasting your time. These are your mornings. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When moments turn severe, how do you find clarity?
This is your first alert from the WBRC Fox 6 weather team. We're with you as we prepare for this threat.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert wherever you are. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m. In a day filled with clutter and noise, WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else. With new updates, live and on the scene, answers for your money and your livelihood with 6 on Your Side investigates. And your first alert for the hours and days ahead with the WBRC First Alert Weather Team. On your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
Well, September is just around the corner, but August 29th actually has some historical significance in the weather community. 17 years ago, Hurricane Katrina made landfall in the U.S. So with Hurricane Katrina, it actually made landfall 3 times in the U.S. First in Florida, then in southeast Louisiana, the infamous one that we all remember, and finally, as well, in Mississippi. The storm left New Orleans underwater. 2 broken levees flooded 80% of the city. 1 million people were displaced from Katrina, which remains the costliest natural disaster in U.S. history. There was about $125 billion of damage to the Gulf Coast, and the storm also caused damage in Mississippi and parts of Alabama. So authorities in Mississippi are now cautiously optimistic. We're taking a break from Katrina and looking ahead to what's been going on over the past couple of weeks with the severe flooding they've been getting. So there have been river levels breached. Levees have been an issue there as well. We check in now with Isabel Rosales for an update.
This water's coming up again. I'm worried about, is it going to come in?
Record rain in the region over the past few days has made its way to the Pearl River near Jackson. On the rise and expected to crest Monday, just shy of major flood stage. Over the weekend, the governor declared parts of Mississippi under a state of emergency, and the mayor urged people in the flood zone to get out before the water moved in.
We need our residents to take heed to these warnings and move out quickly.
Those who followed official advice prepared, packed, and departed.
You don't what to expect for the unknown, so you end up blind for a lot of stuff, and you just got to come back and hope for the best.
Many had done this before. The river hit 36.67 feet just 2 years ago, damaging much of the city. Mickey and Anitra Holder say they hadn't fully bounced back from that. Now there's this.
The home and the stuff inside now is material things. We can't worry about material things. We can replace them. As long as I got my kids and my wife out, nothing else matters.
Their faith planted firmly in place while so much in their community shifted. Water where it shouldn't be. Roads no longer where they once were. But Monday, better news. The river expected to crest more than a foot below that 2020 high water mark. With hope, the worst is over this time.
And that's talking about closer to home in Mississippi. But if we flip the switch here, go on the other side of the globe, there has also been catastrophic flooding in Pakistan, where more than 1,000 people have died since mid-June. This includes, unfortunately, more than 350 children. Heavy rains have caused flash flooding, which have washed away villages and crops. Pakistan is going through its 8th cycle of monsoon rains, which is unusual for the country. Nearly 300,000 homes have have been destroyed. And then if we go outside of
Charlie
the
Blackwell
U.S.
Thompson
and the
has called
globe.
a scrub of the attempt of launch of Artemis 1.
Artemis. Unfortunately, the launch was scrubbed today. A fuel leak and then an engine problem forced NASA to scrub the launch of its new moon rocket this morning. NASA repeatedly stopped and started the fueling of the Space Launch System rocket because of a leak of highly explosive hydrogen. It was unable to properly chill one of the rocket's 4 main engines. No astronauts were inside the rocket's Orion capsule.
You can't go. There are certain guidelines. And I think it's just illustrative that this is a very complicated machine, a very complicated system, and all those things have to work.
It was set to lift off on a mission to propel the capsule into orbit around the moon. The flight, once it happens, would bring the U.S. a step closer to putting astronauts back on the lunar surface for the first time since, believe it or not, 1972. Yeah, we're long overdue for getting back on the moon. But, you know, we always got to watch for weather, too. That was a thing yesterday. Were there going to be any thunderstorms this morning? Well, it turns out it wasn't even the weather's fault. So hopefully that will be the case on Friday when it has been rescheduled for tentatively. But coming up next, we're going to have a look at your own local forecast. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt is back to talk about some storms. Back around for Tuesday, a first alert for that. And then I'll take you beyond the 7-day. We'll be right back.
West Shore Home is America's leader in shower and bath remodeling. And today I'm joined by Kirsten from West Shore to talk remodeling and why you should consider starting your project now.
So Joe, we know how stressful it is to get a new bath or shower installed. So at West Shore Home, we make it fast, easy, and now even more affordable to get your shower or bath project.
Well, we know how you're making the projects fast and easy with the one-day installation, but how are you making things more affordable when the price of everything else seems to be going up these days?
So we know that we've had a rough few months with gas prices higher than normal and monthly budgets getting tighter. That's why we want to help everyone out. Right now, for anyone who calls in, we'll do free installation on all shower and bath projects. And on top of that, you can save your money and put it towards other bills because we're doing 18 months of no payment and no interest financing. That means you don't have to make your first payment until 18 months after your installation is complete.
So with that financing plan, people can stay flexible with their money while getting the shower bath they need now. That's super helpful.
It really is. We know that this is a busy time of the year for people, so you really should leave the stress of remodeling a bath or a shower to the experts. With our 18 months, no payments, no interest financing plan, that combined with our one-day installations, West Shore Home really is the best solution for your bath or shower remodeling.
Now, Kirsten, for somebody interested in starting their project now, what would be their first step?
So give us a call and we'll schedule an appointment at a time that's convenient for you. You'll see hundreds of customizable options that will bring new life to your bathroom. At the end of that appointment, we'll give you an exact price that's down to the penny, good for an entire year.
Wow, so even if you're not ready to get that shower project started now, you can lock in that price and not have to worry about any price increases for a full year.
Absolutely.
Wow, Kirsten, thanks so much, folks. Call West Shore Home now and take advantage of their Labor Day sale. It's free installation on all shower and bath projects, plus 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. Call West Shore Home now.
All right, checking out our first alert sky vision. Lovely view there looking north of Birmingham. We had a little pop-up that was around the Miller Steam Plant area earlier, but overall 89 degrees and not too bad out there. Just hot but dry across most areas. There's another lovely view back there as we get ready for that sunset time around 7:16, and you can see the temperature there at 89 again. And Jasper is one of those spots where we had some rain close to home, but all dry at the moment. But dew points are in the 70s, and that's one of the reasons why it still feels so steamy, so sticky out there. There's a lovely view looking back to the west direction from Oak Grove. That's looking back over the marble quarry right there in southern Talladega County, but winds out of the south-southeast. But always a great time here on Weather Extra in the evenings to take the tour on our Sky Vision camera network stretching across the state of Alabama. Right now, again, mainly dry. 90s showing up. You see that Columbiana, Shelby County Airport. It is hot still, and tomorrow is going to be another hot day. Most areas staying dry tonight. There could be a lingering shower perhaps to the far north and west, but that's the same system. It's going to be getting closer to us tomorrow morning, maybe a little bit of shower activity early in the day. No real severe weather expected for tomorrow, but mainly coming in the afternoon. You can see, we'll stop it right there. This is from the HRRR data and forecast radar indicators showing that there could be some scattered storms lining up, kind of a broken line that will gradually push on south fairly quickly, actually, into the early evening. Notice by 6, 7 o'clock, most of this is on out of here. And then the drier air starts to take over. Notice that wind shift. We go from winds west to west-northwest, and then more of a northerly component as we get into the day on Wednesday. And that's the next big thing, is that drier air that moves in from the north. You can see the real soupy air and that deeper tropical moisture shifting south. And especially by Thursday morning, that's when you're really going to notice it. Unfortunately, it is only a brief taste of that fall-like crispness that we have on Thursday. After that, we're talking about the mugginess again coming back for the weekend. Here's that first alert 7-day forecast, and you can see again we have the first alert for that next best chance for scattered storms tomorrow. Again, not expecting any organized severe weather, but check the weather app. If you don't have it, you can scan the code right there to download the app for free, get those lightning alerts, but that's mostly an afternoon deal. Wednesday and Thursday, less muggy, still hot afternoons, but the night you'll notice the difference, especially outlying areas. A good chance we tumble into the mid-60s out there early Thursday morning. Some nice weather for college football. UAB Thursday night, looking good there. And then we go into the weekend. Friday night football, could be a few evening showers and storms, and Labor Day weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we've bumped up that rain chance. I was chatting with Lauren earlier. We were looking at some of the forecast data, and it really looks like by Sunday especially, a lot of that moisture starts to build back in here, and we're going to be talking temperatures in the 80s, and afternoon storms will be likely there as we go into the start of next week. So that's what we're tracking there in the long range on our 7-day forecast. How about beyond the 7-day forecast? Let's bring Lauren back in. And Lauren, I just mentioned you and I, we were talking about the chance for rain going up into early next week, but hopefully that will also be a factor kind of helping to knock down the temperature just a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the case, Wes. So we're telling you, well, the tropics won't be responsible for likely anything happening over your Labor Day weekend, but there's just probably going to be some plain old rain and storms around. So could that have an impact on temperatures as we look beyond the 7-day? Well, as we look across the U.S. 8 to 14 days from now, you'll notice across the Pacific Northwest likely going to be seeing well above average temperatures. That's not great news for the drought out west. And then also along the East Coast above average temperatures, you'll notice this little bullseye though, potentially temperatures running a little cooler than average, and that's hinting at a wetter pattern too across Texas. Here though, across central Alabama, it looks like our temperature is going to be near normal. Maybe the farther east you are, a little above normal as we look 8 to 14 days from now. So you're like, so can you translate that for me? Does that mean there's going to be much in the way of a cold front or a cool front? Well, it doesn't look overly promising over the next couple of weeks. I think we could definitely see upper 80s into early next week. We talked about there being some rain and storms around, but then maybe seeing temperatures soar back into the 90s. So definitely summer still holding on. Notice temperatures going down into the 70s, maybe a couple weeks from now. That could be due to some more rain in the forecast though. And as far as those low temperatures looking past next weekend or this weekend and going into next week, still keeping temperatures very mild and warm. Nothing too promising that's sticking out in terms of, hey, a nice little fall front coming in. But as far as rain chances, if we zoom in here to central Alabama, potentially looking at above average rain chances. I'm not seeing anything right now that would hint at it being a pattern like we saw last week, which was unreasonably gloomy for late August, but going into September, we are seeing hints that you could at least have some showers and storms around as we look into the latter part of next week. But still plenty of time to iron out the fine details. And one thing you may be wondering about too that is on the horizon even before the 7-day, college football back in the forecast. Wes, I know you obviously are going to be rooting for Alabama, me Georgia, even though I swear when I first started working here, I was like, I don't care about football. but then I felt like I had to root for Georgia.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I start seeing all these Georgia colors appearing in the Weather Center just out of nowhere. Right?
Weird. I had to rep the home team, so
Hey,
that's right around the corner.
It certainly is. Yeah, we're getting excited about Alabama, Auburn, UAB, JSU. We had some football this past weekend, but it's certainly an exciting time of the year. We're going to talk a lot more about that college football, the first football forecast preview. We'll have that for you coming up next as we continue right here on First Alert Weather Extra.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
Being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
Live, new, and on your side. Beginning at 9 p.m., WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else on your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
How will the weather impact your roads? The First Alert Weather app has live traffic updates and road conditions for a safer commute. This is why we First Alert.
WBRC Fox 6 News. On your side.
All right, we're finishing out the month of August, getting ready for September. And of course, I'm thinking fall. Of course, meteorological fall happens on September 1st. So let's talk about the countdown. Labor Day just 6 days away. Getting ready for that big weekend coming up. And of course, fall will officially begin in 24 days. Of course, probably won't feel like fall really until we get into those October months. Hopefully, we'll get an early cold front to cool us down a little bit. But normally, September can still be a very hot month across the southeast. And then as we go into Halloween, 62 days away. Of course, when I'm thinking fall, I'm thinking football already. And I know it's still kind of far out going into Thursday and into this weekend, but it never hurts to go ahead and take a look at those forecasts. We've got Kennesaw State against Samford. This is going to be Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Not bad. Low humidity, some sunshine, mid-80s. Same idea for Alabama A&M and UAB. Looking at temperatures in the mid-80s. So great weather for Thursday night. But as we go into the weekend, you got Jacksonville State taking on Davidson Wildcats Saturday at 1 o'clock in Jacksonville. Can't rule out some scattered showers and storms. Temperatures in the mid-80s and maybe some lower 80s for Tuskegee and Fort Valley State. That's going to be in Montgomery Sunday at 6 p.m. So we could be dealing with some showers and storms. Have to monitor those lightning delays if anything like that develops. And of course, we got Auburn and Alabama. We got Mercer from Macon, Georgia visiting Auburn, and we're looking at some 80s around kickoff, and there could be some showers to track. So we'll be watching that closely, but hopefully they'll get that game in, maybe a few showers here or there. And then of course you got Utah State versus Alabama. Looking at temperatures in the lower 80s. Once again, about 30 to 40% chance for some showers as temperatures begin to cool down into the 70s by the end of that. Of course, we're looking ahead. A lot of people want to take some last-minute beach vacation trips going into this weekend. Of course, the rip current threat remains in that moderate stage for the next several days with temperatures at the water right around 85 degrees. And that 7-day forecast, relatively low rain chance tomorrow, but as we go into the end of the week, into the weekend, a little stormy. We can see some scattered storms each and every day. Temperatures in the mid-80s, overnight lows into the 70s. And maybe you want to go up to the mountains hoping for some cooler air. Well, we are looking at relatively dry air going into Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, but maybe some storm chances return as we go into the weekend with high temperatures, perhaps a little cooler into the mid to upper 80s. No matter where you go, if you're going to some college football games, high school games by the end of this week, vacation trips, make sure you download the WBRC First Alert weather app. We'd love to see your pictures. You can submit those photos through there and, of course, get hourly updates. And it'll let you know if there's any heavy rain or lightning nearby. And just remember, when thunder roars, make sure you go indoors.
If y'all don't know that by now, the end of the summertime. Can't help you. But hey, fall is just around the corner. Now, if you look at this forecast, you're like, I don't see it. Well, it's just a little bit. On Thursday, which is the first day of meteorological fall for September 1st, we'll have temperatures back down in the 60s. Humidity going to be lower. Will it stay that way? Absolutely not. Of course not. The humidity is going to be going right back up by the weekend when we have some storms back in the forecast. Now, you see those storms, that has nothing to do with the tropics. There will be some tropical moisture around, but just going to be bringing some more storms in the forecast. In the meantime, for tomorrow, a few scattered storms possible. Not everyone's guaranteed to see rain, but this is all ahead of our next big thing, that front, which will help to drop temperatures on Thursday and Friday morning and make it drier for Wednesday and Thursday as well. But Wes will have the latest on your forecast tonight on First at 9. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Monday evening. It is Monday.